This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Our top story at this hour, Manatee County is extending its current burn ban 1 week after a state of local emergency was declared due to these dry conditions.
The ban has been extended another 7 days in an effort to protect not only property, but lives as well. ABC7's Dwayne Lindo has more.
Myakka City's fire department is on high alert, with Manatee County deciding to extend their burn ban for another week.
We have yet to receive any substantial rain in our area, and the drought index just today went to 655.
Currently, much of Southwest Florida is at high risk for wildfires. Fire Chief Daniel Casciati says conditions are continuing to get worse, leading him to bring in extra personnel.
We obviously have a lot more open spaces here, so there are more dangers with individuals that are doing a lot of outside burning.
Outside burning, such as campfires, flares, and even fireworks, is now banned. According to Manatee County, anyone violating the ban is not only guilty of a misdemeanor in the second degree, but will have to reimburse the county for expenses incurred as a result of the violation.
The county has the ability through a burn ban in saying it's not a good time to do those types of activities. And then it gives them some enforcement capabilities.
Myakka River Forest Service District Manager Dwayne Weiss says this enforcement is vital. The occasional rain we get is just not enough to get us out of harm's way.
The long-term condition of just the drought that we're in, those isolated rain events really don't make that much of a difference. We need multiple rains over a long period of time.
Casciati agrees, making it a stressful environment for him and his crew.
The smallest little fire that someone goes out and starts, maybe they're burning just some leaves or some brush, and they don't think it's a big deal, but we get this wind, and this wind picks it up and just takes it away.
Not only threatening homes, but people as well.
We have people that are out there actually trying to put these fires out, and sometimes that often delays in them calling the fire department and to stay away from those areas that are burning because they're not trained to deal with that.
That was ABC7's Dwayne Lindo reporting. A high turnover rate in the Northport Fire Department has some community members concerned. Recently, the department lost 5 employees. 4 paramedics moved to other local agencies while 1 retired. The fire chief says 7 new firefighters have been hired. They're expected to start later this month. An additional 6 employees were also approved by City Commission to be hired during the next fiscal year.
There's just not enough paramedics in the United States and in the state of Florida right now to fill all the recruiting needs.
The chief says he hopes the Northport Fire Department will not have this same issue recruiting more paramedics.
Well, our firefighters have been busy
Very
this spring,
busy.
battling those wildfires because it has been so dry, but some rain a little bit around today, this overnight hours. Here's Bob with more.
Yeah, the frontal system itself now moving through our area, but not a lot with it. We had some prefrontal activity overnight, just around midnight, and then kind of flared up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning into South Sarasota County and also into Charlotte County. And now, for the most part, the intense storms have pushed to the east. You see the outflow of these 2 storms kind of creating this little miniature cold front, if you will. It is kicking off a few showers. There's that rain this morning over South Sarasota and into Charlotte County. It's pretty active right there. Also near Beneva and I-75, some shower activity. There's the actual front as it approaches the Panhandle, Pinellas County and also into Hillsborough County. There are some showers there, but not much into Manatee at all. Just a few spotty showers, and right now some rainfall into Wauchula, Hardy County, as well as into DeSoto County. Near Arcadia, some pretty heavy rainfall there, and now 1 or 2 showers starting to pop out in that outflow boundary into East Manatee County. You see it right there, and expect a chance for a few widely scattered showers making it all the way to the coast later on as this little miniature front makes its way in that direction. We'll have much more in the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. Sarasota police releasing surveillance photos in the hunt for an armed robber. Police say a man walked into a Circle K Shell station on South Tamiami Trail around 3 o'clock Monday morning. He was wearing a black mask and had a black handgun, as you saw in that photo. The suspect demanded money from an employee and then took off. If you have any information on this robbery, you are asked to call Sarasota County Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS.
As the opioid epidemic continues across the state, leaders in Tallahassee are joining the fight to find a solution. The Florida Department of Children and Families, Department of Health, and Department of Law Enforcement hearing from about a dozen people directly affected by the opioid addiction during a meeting today in Manatee County. One of today's speakers says state officials need to listen to recovering addicts and consider declaring a public health emergency in Florida.
Just having available medication-assisted treatment for people that was maybe funded by counties or areas would cut down on overdose and deaths enormously.
Manatee County commissioners have already reached out to state lawmakers for funding to create an opioid peer pilot project.
State lawmakers are one step closer to finalizing the medical marijuana amendment passed by voters last November. The House has approved the bill, which allows patients who suffer from chronic pain linked to 10 qualifying conditions to receive medical marijuana. Those who qualify can visit a doctor once every 7 months to receive a prescription for 3 70-day supplies. The bill also allows for 17 treatment centers by July of 2018. However, some lawmakers say the proposed bill does not do what voters intended, since smoking marijuana would not be allowed.
Who are we to tell legitimate patients that they can't smoke their cannabis? That's not our business, members. It's not our business to infringe upon their personal freedoms. It's not our business to infringe on the sacred patient-doctor relationship.
Sponsors of the bill say they're implementing the amendment in a way that is legal with federal law. The Senate is expected to vote on this legislation tomorrow.
Smoking on school property on the agenda at tonight's Sarasota County School Board meeting.
School district officials say they expect to vote on some big changes to the smoking policy. ABC7's Rick Adams is joining us live now from the Sarasota County School District building with more. Rick.
Yeah, Haley and Scott, the school board meeting here gets underway at 6:30. Changes to the current smoking policy will be talked about tonight. Right now, schools in Sarasota County do allow smoking in designated areas for its employees and visitors. The revised policy would ban smoking altogether on all school campuses throughout the district. The updated policy would also not allow the use of electronic cigarettes anywhere on school campuses.
It really runs the gamut across the nation and across Florida, and this is something tonight that our board will be taking a look at and deciding whether to change our policy.
And the initial vote on this will take place here this evening. Then the final vote will happen in 30 days. And we'll have more on this coming up tonight on 11 o'clock. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you so much. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, Governor Scott announcing plans to tour the state this week. Show you what's bringing him to Sarasota.
Plus, why business owners say plans to redesign a park in downtown Sarasota could help deter crime in the area.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Governor Rick Scott will make a stop on the Suncoast this week as part of a statewide tour calling out lawmakers for cutting funding to some of his top priorities in the budget. Under the current budget proposal, funding will be killed for Enterprise Florida, while funding for Visit Florida will be cut by 67%. The two groups bring businesses to the state and promote tourism. It also doesn't include Scott's request for $200 million to fix the Herbert Hoover Dike at Lake Okeechobee. Beginning tomorrow, Scott will make stops in 10 cities across the state to encourage Floridians to reach out to members of the Florida legislature about the current budget. Both Sarasota and Tampa are among the cities he plans to visit.
Lawmakers are rejecting a bill that would have overhauled the state's Sunshine Law and would have allowed private one-on-one meetings of local elected officials. The bill would have allowed 2 members of county commissions, city commissions, and other boards to meet privately to discuss policy issues without notifying the public or recording the meeting. Those who supported the bill say it would be more practical, allowing elected officials to candidly discuss issues, while those against it say it could prevent the public from giving their input.
The kind of spirited debate that takes place in view of the sunshine yields a much healthier outcome than when the deal is already decided before you get there.
In Sarasota, City Commissioner Susan Chapman was sued for claims of violating the Sunshine Law for attending a meeting about homeless issues with other city leaders in attendance. A judge ruled that meeting was not formal, so she did not violate the Sunshine Law.
Could be another chance for some rain this
Hopefully,
week. Yep,
hopefully.
We'll get all the details next with your forecast.
Now's a perfect time to create a custom system with California Closets. During our Door and Drawer event, save up to $500 on beautiful doors and drawers for any room. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View, behind the scenes of Hairspray at American Stage Theater, plus food and your mood, and the best burgers on the Suncoast. Tomorrow at 4 on Suncoast View.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
The Wild Broadway series at the Players Center brings you the classic farce, Boeing. It's the 1960s, and our swingin' bachelor is juggling 3 beautiful stewardesses from 3 competing airlines. But what happens when Boeing produces a faster plane? Comedy ensues. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. Opening April 26th, it's Boeing.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
Come into a California Closet showroom to experience our quality materials and construction and collaborate with our designers to create the perfect custom solution for any room. Go to CaliforniaClosets.com to request a free design consultation and locate the showroom nearest to you.
Nice day.
Yeah, nice day. You know, it turned out to be okay. We had some showers around this morning and kind of overnight when most people were sleeping. I woke up, I saw some puddling. Perfect. Looked good. We could use a lot more puddling, obviously. We're about 6 to 8 inches below average, and that the scale for drought, you know, we're all in the 600s, even with a little rain today. Didn't help. By the way, tomorrow morning, look to the southwest at 5:52 a.m., about 23 degrees. Yeah, you can look out there and you'll see it traveling to the northeast. It's the International Space Station. The sky should be clear for that tomorrow. I just want to give you a heads up on that. Here's what's happening. Viewer photo, Anna Maria. This one from Brian Blaine, good friend out there who works out the end of the city pier. Getting this great egret. What a nice shot. Sun just rising, clouds around. There were storm clouds around the Sun Coast, bringing us some rainfall. We'll take what we can get. We need it. We're going to get a lot more, I think, on Friday, and that'll be nice, although there's a chance that some of those storms could be strong. Well, the Mayaca webcam, I delved into that because it's really dry there. They didn't get much rainfall all day today, but there are some storms developing right around there. You'll see that on the radar picture in just a minute. You can see those clouds starting to darken up a bit. The front itself is moving through right now. There's not much to the front, but there's some outflow boundaries that are generating some showers. Another front late Thursday, Friday morning. Some of those storms could be strong, much cooler for the weekend. Now, the radar picture does depict some heavier storms now moving east of Lake Okeechobee. These are the storms that are generated by this outflow. Because of these heavy storms, they create these little miniature fronts. You see that weak cold front. There's not much to that anymore. In fact, this front has a little bit more power to it. This is just an outflow boundary. Notice as it makes its way off to the southwest. There it is right there. And then it trails behind there. These storms are popping up into eastern Hillsborough County, one now into eastern portions of Manatee County. There it is about 10 minutes later once that front moves through. So we'll see this in downtown Sarasota, and you may get a shower or two. It's going to be very isolated, as you can see. It's not a widespread rain event, but that little miniature front could bring some scattered storms along the coast later on this evening in a couple of hours. Some heavier rainfall down into South Sarasota County earlier today, 2.2 inches just there near Englewood or east of Englewood. And in downtown Sarasota, not much rainfall at all. Estimates, Doppler indicates over a ½ inch right there, Beneva Road, just west of the interstate. Lesser amounts as you pushed off to the northeast. Again, the satellite imagery showing the outflow boundary coming our way with that one, but the actual cold front. And there's not much to the cold front. It's not going to cool us down at all. 87 degrees right now. In fact, that's the high today. West winds are at 13, the pressure 2996, and that is holding steady. The high today was 87. The average is at 83 and the record 92. The forecast looks like this tomorrow. We'll start off with partly cloudy to mostly fair skies all the way through the day. Highs will be into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees on in through the afternoon and evening. RPM forecast model showing and depicting 1 or 2 lone storms here along the coast and then fading away. The front kind of fades away too. As we move through time on Wednesday, there's a chance for a few scattered storms with the sea breeze front late in the afternoon, mainly to our south, but we'll keep a 20% chance in here. Then here comes a bigger front. I mentioned Friday. Well, Thursday, it'll be over the Panhandle and out in the Gulf of Mexico. So it'll take late Thursday to mainly Friday morning when it moves through. There's some good news in that. The heat of the day won't be as strong as it were, as say, in the afternoon hours if it were to come through, but we'll still see the potential for some rough weather, I do believe, on Friday morning. Obviously, temperatures are much cooler behind that system in the 40s and 50s over the northern plains and then throughout the northern Great Lakes, and much warmer over the southern plain states. So some cooler air, though, is on the way. We'll see that happening on the weekend, so a big contrast to last weekend. For boaters, winds will be out of the southeast, switching to the southwest at 5 to 10 knots out there. The light chop on the bays and water temperature at 84 degrees. UV index, load up on the sunscreen, will be high tomorrow if you're heading to beaches or outdoors. A low tide at 2:28 and a high tide will be at 9:54. Sunset just 4 minutes after 8 tonight. Partly cloudy, some scattered storms, 67 for your low. Showers, and then for tomorrow, expect a slight chance for a few late day showers. Mostly sunny skies, a high of 89. And the extended forecast calls for breezy conditions on Thursday. Good chance for showers late Thursday night, Friday morning. Clearing and turning cooler for the weekend. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. The Pineapple Park facelift is closer to becoming a reality.
The city of Sarasota is releasing 2 possible options for the project's master plan. For many, what the park will actually look like is the least of their worries. Local store owners and residents say they're just happy something is being done because they feel any effort to revitalize that area will put an end to many concerns about crime. The city's asking for the community's input on the 2 concepts. You can do that on the city's website until May 7th.
Hi, I'm Linda Carson. Coming up, we'll introduce you to this amazing Suncoast woman. You will not believe some of the things she created and designed. Think air hockey.
Tonight, what some call the greatest humanitarian crisis since World War II. David Muir on the front lines. 4 countries at risk of famine. 20 million people on the brink. The urgent effort to save the children. Watch World News Tonight with David Muir.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Today's amazing Suncoast woman succeeded at many careers before she reached retirement.
Even after retirement, not much has changed for her. ABC7's Linda Carson introduces us to Linda Wilson.
Linda Wilson was born in Canaan, Connecticut, and she still uses a lot of what she learned in that small farming town as she works for the Venice Farmers Market here on the Suncoast.
And my father taught me to always say what you mean and do what you say. My mother taught me to always give people a second and a third chance.
She went to work right after high school.
My very first job was an administrative assistant for Avco Lycoming in Charleston, South Carolina.
She was fascinated by the drafting department.
My boss had the wherewithal to say, would you like to learn that trade? And he allowed me to spend part of my day in the design and drafting department learning that trade.
She'd found her career.
I worked for a company called Bendix, And I designed and built the very first air hockey table in 1970.
She helped design the first mobile air transferable hospital.
This was a group of 7 hospitals that are airdropped into disaster areas or into war areas. I had the dental unit that I was responsible for.
She designed the technology for the Publishing Clearinghouse contest, and
I was with Colt Firearms, and I had a portion of designing the M16 rifle.
She met her husband when she hired him.
I did hire him, and years later he left and he went to work for United Technologies.
But they met again years later, married, and have a daughter and 2 grandchildren. They retired to Venice in 2001.
I became a photographer, and I started working for general contractors. I've photographed the Oslo Theater. I've done the Venice Community Center. I've done the Sarasota Opera House.
She's very proud of the help the Venice Farmers Market gives the community.
2 years and 6 months, over $25,000 to our local community.
And her life lesson, go for your passion.
Mine has and always will be giving back to others.
These are some of the awards Linda Wilson has won since she's been here in Venice. But it's not the awards she treasures, it's the feeling she gets knowing how many people the Venice Farmers Market is helping. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda.
Bob, a lot of rain if you look to the east, huh?
Right, but there's some storms trying to build toward the coast. So one or two. I think we'll be happier on Friday. Showers and storms will be moving through. And the storm's not the best, but we need the rain, and we're 8 inches plus below average. So it looks to be pretty good Friday.
All right.
And then the weekend.
Cool.
Really nice, yeah.
World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you tonight at 11. Have a great evening.